Skinny jeans are back, and I know some of you have just recoiled, but stay with me. The early 2000s trend is making a quiet return, but it's looking a little bit different. Those of you who have been on my channel a while now know that I am not one for chasing trends. The work I do is all about supporting your individuality, your identity, what suits you, what suits your individual body and your lifestyle. But it's good to know if this is actually something that's going to work for you long after this trend has come and gone, or maybe you still have those skinny jeans hanging around in the wardrobe and you're thinking, ooh, maybe it's time to break them back out again. So today we're going to be looking at skinny jeans not as a fashion directive, but as something that you can choose consciously if you want to. In this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to know if you should reinvest in this trend or break out those skinny jeans that you've had lurking in the back of the wardrobe somewhere, or maybe it will confirm that it is time for you to let them go. And I'm going to share with you some tips that will make it feel a little bit fresher, just in case you feel like, you know what, I did that 20 years ago, I don't want to revisit them. There are a few things that are going to make it feel a little bit more modern. If you are interested in working with me on reclaiming your identity for the person you are today and who you want to be going forward, working on a style that suits your individuality, your body shape, your coloring, then get in touch, book a clarity call on my website. I'll leave the link below. I also have a range of online courses that you can engage in as well. I have a solution for everybody out there. So let's get into today's video. First of all, it's no surprise that skinny jeans are back. One thing that you will notice in fashion is that the silhouette is like a bit of a pendulum. It swings from oversized to skinny to fitted to less tailored. It is very, very predictable, and we've seen over the last 5-10 years that the silhouette, especially in trousers, has been a looser style. So it was only a matter of time before the pendulum swung back around to a more fitted style. The other thing that you will notice is that fashion trends have about a 20-25 year cycle. So anything that you have seen, you will see again, with a little twist or a little bit of a tweak in styling. So we are around that 20-year mark. If you were somebody wearing these in the early 2000s, me included, then yes, we are a full 20-year cycle now, and they are back. If we think back to those early 2000s when we were wearing them, or maybe this is your first time around wearing them, the way it was worn before was a little bit more stuffy, I would say, or a little bit overstyled. When I look back at the early 2000s, it was very much about having poker straight hair. You know, the hair straightener was on all the time. This time around, we're getting a more relaxed look all over, really. So the hair is kind of less styled, a little bit more tousled, a little bit more carefree. The same goes for makeup. In the early 2000s, it was all about, probably a little bit too much makeup, a little bit like lots of black eyeliner, heavy on the eye makeup, maybe even a lighter color on the lips. When I think back to it, I cringe. Let me know if you remember this or if you've been through that cycle as well when you went through those early 2000s and skinny jeans. Let me know in the comments below. So now in 2025, we're certainly looking at a more pared back version of makeup, moving much more towards a more not even there makeup, very natural. So those things in themselves are going to bring your skinny jeans up to date. The other thing that you'll notice is that back in the early 2000s, the entire silhouette was a little bit more fitted. So yes, you had the skinny jeans, but also the upper half was a little bit more about a fitted blazer, a fitted style top. Whereas we move it forward to 2025 and we're pairing our skinny jeans with something a little bit more oversized on the top. Your underlayer might be fitted, but the external layer, it might be an oversized leather jacket, it might be an oversized blazer or something just a little bit more boxy to counteract the fitted style of those skinny jeans. In terms of shoe style choices, we've already seen a resurgence of the ballet pump. If you take the traditional ballet pump like we wore in the early 2000s, which was like very straight up, nothing really fancy about it, that has changed a little bit to a more structured toe, more kind of straps, a little bit more drama and structure overall to the footwear. Apart from that, accessories are going to be quite pared back as well, so think minimal jewellery. But of course, this is where your style personality plays a massive role in your choices to accessorize. Some of you who are the dramatic or creative styles will still want to add more on, have those statement pieces. And if that's you, well, then you have to honor your individuality and still go for that. Now let's talk about body shape. If you've been on my channel a while, you'll know that I've moved away from that very kind of strict guidelines of if you're an hourglass, then wear this. If you're this, then wear that. I don't believe in that approach. It doesn't work for everybody because it doesn't take into consideration your own personal goals when you're dressing for your body shape. So the first question I would want to ask you is, what are you trying to achieve when dressing? And do skinny jeans fit into those goals? If you're somebody who says, well, one of my goals is to elongate my legs, then skinny jeans are going to help you do that. If one of your goals is to not draw attention to the lower half of your body, then skinny jeans are probably not going to be something that's going to be on your radar. Because if we think about what skinny jeans do to the body, they hug the body. They leave nothing to the imagination. We know exactly where all your curves are. So think about, is that what you want to emphasize? Traditionally speaking, skinny jeans can be great for the hourglass. They can also be great for the apple shape with longer styles on top. They can work well for the pear shape as well. However, again, I'm going back to this individuality. Everybody's body is so different. If we think about somebody who is a pear shape, let's say, some people carry their curves on their hips very low down, and they can be very full in the hips and go down into a very narrow point at their ankle. And the difference between that point of their hips down into the ankle can be really extreme. And a skinny jean will really emphasize that. And it may not be doing the things that you want it to do. You may be better off in a tapered style that gradually narrows down into the ankle rather than hugging that hip and going down very skinny. If you carry your weight a bit higher, then there's more of a gradual decrease onto the leg, in which case a skinny jean will suit you beautifully. So I really want you to consider those two main things when thinking about if you're going to invest, reinvest, or to take out those skinny jeans that you have already. Think about what are your goals when you're dressing, and think about what a skinny jean does to your body shape. That in itself will really help you determine if you want to revisit this or let it stay in the early 2000s. Either way, don't let the fashion industry dictate to you whether you feel like you're up to date or you're trendy or you're out of date, because that is actually what they want you to think. It's another reason why these fashion cycles come back around, because you keep buying. It keeps the industry alive, it keeps it thriving. If you actually find out what works for you, you're buying for long term, and I'm talking beyond the 20-year cycle. You could have items in your wardrobe, if you buy them really well and they're good quality, you could have them in your wardrobe far longer than those 20-year cycles. This inevitably saves you time, saves you a lot of money and a lot of heartache. If that's something you would like to achieve, get in touch with me, book that clarity call, let's have a chat about the next step for you. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new, and I'll see you again next week for another video. Take care. Bye bye.